Hey, I'm Neff. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to monetize your content using SpreadSimple, Strike, and PlebPay. So real quick, who is this for? This tutorial is for people that want to monetize their content and also avoid paying fees to payment processors like Stripe, where they charge like 2.9% plus 30% or 30 cents on each transaction. So that prevents a lot of users or a lot of creators to create what I'm calling micro content. So that's selling like a little piece of content for $1 or less than $1 or something like that. Also, in this tutorial, I'm going to use SpreadSimple Strike, so you have to be users of those platforms. And as a bonus, for people that are interested in Bitcoin, you can convert the payment that you get into Bitcoin without any fees. And I'll show you how to do that with Strike. So the main objective here is to get paid for your content in a way that's very simple to set up and doesn't require any sort of like setup with the LMS or any sort of like bloated piece of software that lets you manage like courses or stuff like that, and also avoid paying fees. So one of the big factors. As a bonus, like I mentioned, you can convert your payment to Bitcoin, which is pretty cool. So what are you going to need? You're going to need SpreadSimple, the Strike app, PlebPay, which is going to be like the paywall, and then of course your paid content. And the high level process is going to look like this. So you're going to create a copy of a SpreadSimple template to just get you up and running really quickly. I'll walk through that. You'll set up your Strike account to receive the payment. I already have my account set up, so I won't be going through all the details of that, but I'll walk you through how to get started. Your paid piece of content, you'll have that created already, or you're going to be working on it, and then creating the paywall with PlebPay. Okay, so let's jump in. First thing that you're going to want to do is go to SpreadSimple and check out their templates. They have quite a few. And for this example, I'm going to go with this online courses template and scroll to the bottom where you see these three options: view website, go to spreadsheet, and click on use template. We're going to create a new template. And after about a minute or so, you should have a completely cloned template for you to get started with. Let's go to edit Google Sheet. And then from here, let's clean things up. So we're just to simplify things, I'm gonna get rid of all of these different courses just so we have one. And then as a test, I just wanna make sure that it's connected properly. So I'll put like demo test title in here. And up in the upper right corner, you're gonna want to make sure that the setting is set up for anyone with the link to have general access. And by default, when you clone the template, it should be already set up. But just to make sure, it's good to just make sure that you do like a little test. Okay, so let's jump back to the dashboard, and then from here, we're going to refresh the data, and it looks like it cleaned up all of the other different courses. And next up, we're going to publish this. So this is going to be the domain where your website resides. So let's open that up. And here is our demo test title. So everything is working properly. Okay, so the next part is to create this button as the link that takes you to your paid content. It's going to be a really simple example. So let's go back to your dashboard and let's access this button. So it should be under primary button settings. And we will say access paid content. And we're going to change this to link button type. And let's click on save. So you may have missed it, but here the link for the redirect is looking under the column link in our spreadsheet. So let's have a look at that, because we're going to have to make an adjustment here. And here is the link that we need to update. So let's get rid of that. Let's delete that. And next we want to create our paid content link that we're going to create with PlebPay. So here we are in PlebPay, and here you can see you can create a Bitcoin Lightning paywall and get paid directly to your Strike account. So we're going to need a Strike account in order for this to get started. So let's jump over to Strike and see what this is about. So with Strike, you can send and receive money instantly and at no fee, which is cool because it's built on top of the Bitcoin network. So it's using the Bitcoin network and Lightning to make the transactions instant and final settlement, which is really cool. Plus, once you get paid, you can buy Bitcoin at no fee, which is really cool. You just pay like a small little market spread, which is pretty much nothing, and you're able to buy Bitcoin, get paid in Bitcoin, dollar cost average, and on a set schedule. It's really cool. I love the app. Uh, I included a referral link where you can get $10 if you're a new user to get you started. The one bad thing here is that it's not available worldwide. It's in select markets right now. There's only a few countries where this is available, so sorry if it's not available in your country yet. They're expanding pretty fast. But what you want to do is use the referral code or not. You can just download it here. But if you want the free $10 to get started, use the referral code, and then it'll take you to the your appropriate app store to get started. So once you get that set up, you will get a username, right? So that's when you go back to PlebPay, and then you enter your username right here. And let's price this at a whopping 1 penny. Try doing that with Stripe or any sort of other payment gateway. You won't be able to do it. So this is really cool where you can create micro content and get and put like a small little price tag. So I really love that about this particular approach with creating paid content. And then here we'll just put your paid content title goes here. All right, so for the redirect URL, we need to create that piece of content, the paid piece of content. So let's jump back to your dashboard in SpreadSimple. We'll go to pages, and then here we'll put a new page, and we'll call this paid content. Let's copy that. And navigation, you don't have to do this because we're going to hide the menu item title, but I'm just a little neurotic, so I like to do that. And the page address is going to be paid content. Copy that as well. And we are going to open this in a new tab, and we're going to hide this from our menu. And then all the way at the bottom, we're going to select hide this page from search results. So let's save that. And let's enter the paid content page, right? So this is what it's going to look like after the user pays for your content, right? So let's go back to PlebPay and stick that paid content page in here, and let's create the paid wall. So now we're going to take this link, and we're going to hop over to our spreadsheet and paste it in here. And now we will go to, yeah, let's go to the website. Let's go back to the main page. And it usually takes a couple of refreshes for the change to take place. So if you just hover over the button, you can see that PlebPay is now in there. And this is what the landing page is going to look like for your user. So one thing to note here, you can't modify anything other than the color of the button right now, which is kind of a damper. That's kind of why I created it for my website. I try to copy the format in my website, so it all kind of looks like cohesive and part of the package. Because it might be a little jarring for your user to be like, well, where the heck am I? Why is a button like this neon green color? Or, the design just doesn't quite fit with where I came from. So that's what I did. Another thing that you can do here is you can pass URL parameters by doing the question mark and then passing in a URL parameter. And if you hop over to the repository in GitHub, Sam Samskis was a developer that created this PlebPay tool. So shout out to Samskis for making this really cool tool. And if you scroll at the bottom, in the README file, you can see that you can pass in brand color equals Bitcoin, or the hex color, or the name of the color, which is nice. So if we hop back to our PlebPay paid content landing page and append this brand color equals Bitcoin, we'll get that orange Bitcoin color. Or if you do, let's say, pink, it'll come back as pink. So it's a little customization that you can do, but I like Bitcoin, so let's bring in that hot orange color. And then we are going to click on enter. So from the user perspective, they get this invoice QR code, and you can see there's about a 2-minute timer. So what I'm going to do from the user perspective is share my mobile screen with you to kind of walk you through the process of what that looks like. Okay, so here we are in my Moon wallet, which I highly recommend. You can see it matches the screen recording on my mobile device. One real quick thing on the Moon wallet, that's MUUN. There's another one with uh, MOON, which I haven't tried and can't vouch for. But yeah, you want to open this up, and one of the things that I really like about the Moon Wallet is that you are able to open an account without KYC, without entering your personal information, which is pretty cool. So anyone can download it and receive and send Bitcoin, which is nice. So what we're going to do now is send some Bitcoin to the creator of this paid content that we're about to purchase, right? And we're going to scan the QR code, and we're going to send 46 sats to the creator. And just like that, the the payment was received, and the user got access to the content. That we got payment for your paid content title goes here for a total of 1 penny. So that's really cool. The user got access immediately, instantly to the paid content page, and then the content creator got payment instant and for free. And that's just something really cool. And then from there, if you want to do as a bonus, once you start getting funds, whether you want to use your referral code for the $10 and then buy Bitcoin with that, you can totally do that. And you can dollar cost average if you want. You can get paid in Bitcoin. The Strike app gives you like a routing number and an account where you can then receive funds and then say, okay, I want 50% to be sent to be paid out in US dollars in my case, and then the other 50% in Bitcoin. So that's pretty cool, or all Bitcoin if you want. Anyways, I'm a huge Strike fan, as you can probably notice, and I suggest you have a look. So let's talk about the not so good part about this approach, about getting paid with PlebPay. So, so first off, the the payment doesn't provide you identity of that user. So it's kind of a pro and a con, right? So as a marketer is a bit of a con because you don't know who's consuming your content. You don't know who's buying your stuff, right? On the user side, it might be nice to just immediately have access to the content without having to fill out any other stuff. So as a workaround, if you're a marketer wanting to get additional information, as a workaround, what you can do is create some sort of form or some sort of like small chat bot where you ask for the name or the email address, and then once you get that information, you can then direct the user to the PlebPay landing page, right, where they can then scan the code and make the purchase. Uh, to make the connection between the person that's buying your content and then consuming your content, what you're going to need is some sort of like marketing automation tool to bridge the two together, where then you can see, okay, this user bought this course because they were on this website or on this web page, on like my paid content page. So that's it involves other tools, but it's possible to then see, okay, Bob bought these paid content pieces. I know that because he visited so like paid content page A, B, C, and D. So in your marketing automation tool like Encharge or Active Campaign, you're able to see that information. So that's one way to get around that. The other thing that's not so great about this approach is from the user side. For instance, in this case, I bought I got access to the paid content on my laptop, right? If I go to my mobile device and click on that same button, so going here, let me go back to, yeah. So if I were to visit this web page on my mobile device and click on this, I won't get redirected to the page to the paid content. I'll actually get that paywall again. So that's something to consider, and maybe you can adjust your pricing accordingly, like adjust your pricing according to access on device. So that's one of the downfalls of using this method is that the user needs to make the purchase um, on each device if they want to access the content. So the workaround here is is once the user pays to get access to the paid content page, if they have the link, or actually if anyone has the link, then they can access the paid content. So so the user needs to remember or bookmark the link or have a reference to that link in order to get access to it. So that's not so great, especially if you don't have direct communication with your user or with your customer, right? So I think maybe like a compromise or like middle ground can be doing the workflow that I mentioned earlier, where you have like, let's say a chatbot, it asks for the name, the email address, and then it points the person to the PlebPay paywall. And then from there, at least you have their information to say, hey, thanks for signing up. Like, here's the link in case you want to refer back to it. So you don't have to pay again. So that's one option. So after putting together a working example, those are kind of some of the downfalls that I saw with this approach. However, I do think the benefit far outweighs some of these downfalls because you save on the fees, and also it's just super simple to get set up. I mean, you can do this on any website. I think SpreadSimple is really cool because just out of the box, you're able to package your content in such a nice, like user-friendly experience. And all you need to do is just enter the data in a Google Sheet, which is makes it super accessible because it's a free tool. Anyone that can enter data in a cell can manage the data. It won't have to be complex like WordPress, right? Where you have to like set up user permissions and all kinds of other stuff. Like someone can just go into Google Sheet and start entering um, data. There is a little bit of a learning curve, but I don't think it's nearly as bad as managing like a CMS or something like that. Um, if you have, hopefully you found this helpful. If you have any sort of workarounds or found any other benefits that I didn't mention, or any other kind of not so good features about this method, I'd love to hear it, so I can address it in maybe a future video, or maybe update the article or something like that. I'd love to hear it. You can send it to me in whatever way we can communicate. I have a submit feedback button on the webpage, so you can just go up to the menu and then submit your feedback, and I'll receive it instantly, and hopefully update and make these videos even better for you in the future.